Hello, Internet. I am the Tech Support Ninja, and with me today is my good friend, Belize Boy.
Belize boy in the house. Hey, everyone.
And this will be our first episode of Name Pending. That isn't actually the name. Honestly, we have no idea what to call ourselves. And for some reason, I'm talking like this when I should be talking like this, or actually, should be talking like a normal person. This is a podcast, not a. Yes, this is the first Tech Support Ninja podcast. Me and my good friend here, we're calling him Belize Boy for now. Uh,
Going by my classic net name, issued in since 2003.
yes,
Also my gamer tag.
yes, at him, everybody. We are, yes. So whole goal here is that we're gonna do a podcast, maybe every week, every other week, twice a month, once every 6 years. We're gonna talk about just the nerd shit that we share because we played a few games together and it was such like a big thing.
Got a lot of stuff in common,
Oh yeah.
especially the childhood. Being babies from the 80s, it's all in there.
Oh yes. And so we decided that we're gonna share this with everyone else. So first episode today, we're actually to talk about my personal favorite in all TV and well, basically everything in the world, the Transformers.
Transform and roll out.
Oh damn, it didn't pop up. Give me a second. Why aren't you there? No, hold on. Ah, first fail. My first fail. It was supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to pick you up.
Good times. Good times.
Pick up the photos.
First time for everything.
No, I shouldn't have closed it.
Yo, I think all the fails are just gonna make this so much better to watch later.
That is true. That is true. Okay, so I'm going to just do a quick reset here. Gonna go yeah, and then I'm gonna go yeah. Yes, F in the chat. Freaking ingrates. Done. There we go. Look at that.
We got it!
Woo! Yeah! Transformers. They're more than meets the eye. They're robots in disguise.
On the planet Cybertron. The year is 2099. Actually, I don't even remember at the beginning of either the movie or the first episode what year it's supposed to be.
Oh, oh no! It goes.
So,
The year is the year 2005. The heroic Autobots have sorry, yeah, and I don't remember exactly how it goes. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a bit of a no. We're gonna play that clip real quick, even though I don't even have it.
well, it's literally just the beginning. So
Yeah, I know. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm pulling up the clip. But yeah, no, it was in the year 2005, and it was kind of like doing a bit of a background of where the series had gone at that point. Yes, we're gonna start by talking about the movie.
I guess at this point,
Yeah. Let's see. It's gonna be in here. It's gonna be not you. There you are, you zombie. Okay. And
Countdown. You're every Cybertron.
okay, let's watch it real quick.
Right from secret staging
sorry.
grounds.
All right, hold on.
oh no,
It is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron.
it is 2005.
Yeah.
Prepare to retake their homeland.
The year
But
is
from secret staging
2005.
grounds
on
on
the
two of
planet
Cybertron's
Cybertron.
moons, the valiant Autobots prepare to retake their homeland.
Even today, man, that animation all by hand. Nobody.
Yeah, they don't do that
Nobody
anymore.
did it. No. Apparently, I think if I recall, they had over 200 artists working on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Transformer fans, but I think it was around 150 hand artists where they rotoscoped, they did whatever they had to do Everything was by hand, no computer effects, man. That's just wild, and that's a lot of dedication.
Yeah,
Gee,
seriously.
I remember the chief animator actually said, he's like, if he had to do that all over again, he wouldn't. He would clearly not do it over again.
Well, of
It was so
course not. But
painful.
then, yeah, but then again, that's what we got. I mean, like it was one of the most epic anything we've ever seen. I mean, like we want to start talking about how like just memorable all the parts were, just all the action and all the like the
The
interesting
whole
little
movie.
bits.
The whole movie is it's something that could never be done again. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, GI Joe attempted
Yeah,
it too.
yes, and they learned from their mistakes with Transformers. But I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later. Ha ha! Spoiler alert. But
Back when fan mail actually made a difference.
yes.
Although, I guess recently the closest thing that we had to that, where parents and their kids just poured their hearts out to get Optimus Prime to come back.
Oh,
The internet
spoilers.
fixed Sonic.
Yes, they
Oh my
did
god!
do that. They did fix Sonic, and they did, and because of actions in this, like from this movie, they changed the GI Joe movie around.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Duke
it's a
takes it right in the heart, and he's fine. Oh my
yeah.
god!
It's like his death will be in vain. Oh no, Duke is dead. And then like at the last 5 second point in the, hey guys, guess what? Duke's all right.
He's gonna pull through. I mean, he even said his final words. He's like, "Go, Joe."
The man died. But then again, like they're trying to do change in a children's show. You just can't do that. And yes, speaking of
It
which,
was
okay,
it was so real. It was so real.
it was so real. It was for real friends. So yeah, okay, so let's actually start talking about that aspect of the movie because yes, so first let's talk about what Transformers really is, what this is about. So the movie, here's how the movie goes. So first off, you have this epic. Still doing it. I have to do this. I have to do this in a very specific way. Which one's the one that's being seen? That's the real question. Not this one. I should have planned this better. So this asshole right here, his name is Unicron. He's basically like Galactus if you know Marvel comics, and if you don't, he's a giant planet that eats planets. Has a whole thing. So in the meantime, as you saw from the beginning, so Optimus is planning on taking back Cybertron. That goes badly because the Autobots, the Decepticons attack. I'm doing this badly. Okay, you want to try this? You want to try doing this? Give us
Sure,
a
sure.
quick
All
recap.
right. So we have Unicron that's slowly approaching, and we have no idea of his capabilities. All we know is that it's a planet munching planet, and he's taking on basically a lot of the moons of Cybertron and all this.
Getting a
And
little
in
bit.
the meantime, there's still the entire war that's basically going on Cybertron, where the Autobots are completely losing. They're just getting shredded, and most of Cybertron is occupied basically by the Decepticons at this point. And well, Optimus hopes, he really hopes to make a last stand on Earth, which is so weird because he's hoping that a planet that's millions of light years away. Although, mind you, in the movie it takes like 20 minutes to get there.
Space bridges
Millions
are
of
a thing.
years away. He's hoping that they have some spare energy on there, just that will turn the tide, but totally not the case. He has to end up babysitting them a little bit later.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
okay. So first off, okay. So yeah, with that bit of a recap of what's actually happening in the beginning. So here's how it goes. The okay, brain
It's-
just broke. Okay, so Decepticons attack Earth. Their shit's getting rocked. Optimus comes in, goes all badass, then dies because the true main character of the show, you know, he kind of did stupid. Uh, the Decepticons flee, decide to throw out all the dead bodies on the way out because reasons. Uh,
Because they were too heavy. They were too heavy. Remember? It's all like what is it? Decepticons. We need to wait. Oh, I can't remember the like line, but
we
anyway,
gotta throw some weight, or we'll never get back
we
to
have to
Cybertron. Hell,
exactly. You have to jettison
Decepticons.
some way. They're in space. It shouldn't even matter.
I know, right? Like, is mass a thing? Does mass matter?
Well, it might to a transform. I mean, he is burning fuel after all, and
Yeah, I mean,
they were all. It's not like there's a pit stop where you can. Oh yes, energon.
and like for this million year trek, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, they throw up Megatron. Megatron meets Unicron in the middle of space. Unicron says, "Be my bitch, and I'll make you all powerful." He's like, "Sure, why not? Because otherwise it's death." Then turns into this guy named Galvatron. Galvatron then tries to kill everyone again. Meantime, it's this weird guy named Ultramag. Okay, you know what? I gotta start doing this picture for him.
Is that not one of the best things to ever prepare for reformatting? It's just like he tries to make a deal with him. No one controls Megatron. Allow me to be the first. I can't do Orson Welles' voice, man.
Oh yeah. So no, no. Okay. So first off, it goes, I have summoned you. Oh yeah. Nobody summons Megatron. Then allow me to be the first. And yeah. But no. The way it goes. So trying to make this as simple as possible. Earth gets attacked. Optimus dies. Megatron gets turned into to another dude. They attack them again. They run away to a junk planet while a bunch of them go to a junk planet while another bunch end up on a planet filled with other people. They learn about the Unicron thing. Unicron decides that he wants to Galvatron kills Ultra Magnus, who's holding the Matrix. Ultra Magnus then he gets put back together by the Junkions. Then yes, and you don't understand any of this because none of these names mean anything to you. Then they go and save Cybertron because Unicron decided that he was going to eat it because Galvatron was a dick. And that's the basics of it.
They kind of struck a little bit of a deal, but then somebody went and tried to unleash the Matrix on him.
Which actually I'm going to get back to in a minute, because there are factors about the Matrix that I have to go to in detail. And I have clips of this. So, all right. So first off, let's talk about a few extra things. So first off, let's talk about the fact. Okay, I'm gonna play a clip actually. So first, I'm gonna do two clips. I'm gonna introduce Unicron real quick. So let us. Actually, no, I'm gonna skip the clip the Unicron. Now let's watch one thing. So if you ever watch Transformers, you remember everyone. You remember Ironhide and Ratchet and that weird guy who kind of looked like he had a weird back. I forget his name. He turned into a pickup. I don't know. Then you had all those guys, and then this happens in the first 10 minutes. And yeah, so this guy.
Oh, that soundtrack.
Is that soundtrack? Yeah, so you have the epic music going on, and bam! One-shotted!
Just right there, right in the chest or shoulder, I guess.
Yeah, and there's Jazz.
Yeah, Braun, that's his name.
And then boom! His eyes melt and blood out of his mouth kind of death. These guys are dying! They're not even hitting anything. How are they so easy to kill now? And then, boom, there goes their childhood. There goes their childhood. And
chest shots for everyone.
Yeah, they all die. All of our favorite characters, even Optimus dies.
Hey, man, you got to give it to Ironhide, man. He stuck it out after all those shots from a fusion cannon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They did have a little bit more with no, and then Megatron's boom, shoots him in the face.
Oh.
Yeah, and boom, in the face, and he's no, it's such heroic nonsense. Yeah, and then next thing you know, we get these guys. these guys all of a sudden pop in, as well as let's see, where are they? Oh, why does it keep coming back to Redgar? Let's see. Then you get
Red Card the shit.
oh god. Then you also get like this guy, Hot Rod, who's supposed to be our main protagonist, and Cup.
Good old Hot Rod.
And Cup, who is the old man whom I adore because I always wanted to be this old man. This
oldest
guy.
Autobot.
Yeah, this guy is basically like, he is my persona. If I ever had a persona, it would be this man. He's supposed to be the wise mentor dude who's just pissed off about everything.
So grumpy. So grumpy.
I love it. And then, of course, you get other guys like Perceptor. This guy turns into a microscope, telescope. And yeah, and then you get... okay, then you have the only female Autobot ever seen, at least for me at that time, because I missed that episode, RC. She turns into a nice little, like, lady sports car. I forget this guy's name all the time. Who is this guy?
Is it Rotor?
No.
Is it Rotor?
No, it's not Rotor.
He's a triple changer. I can't.
Yeah, he turns into a helicopter and a Jeep.
Yeah.
And then
I don't remember his name right. See, because he wasn't that his body was memorable, but not his name.
Or the him in general. Also, I thought those two were like a couple, and I thought there was going to be some kind of weird love triangle thing between them and Hot Rod, but that just never happened.
That was the original plan, and it just ended up changing near the end of the movie with some rewrites.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's a good bit of trivia there, because yeah, like the entire time they're always together, and then she's always kind of being a little bit flirty to Hot Rod, and nothing ever comes of it.
Well, that was just her natural manner, her natural flirt.
Oh yeah, and then of course we lost Wheeljack here. I don't know who this guy is. Probably some rando. Don't even see what he turns into. But Wheeljack's super dead. Then we have this guy, Ultra Magnus, supposedly the new leader. Apparently, he's in charge of everyone on Earth now. And like, he's just some giant ass like rando man who's like super epic.
If the Matrix would have unlocked on him, could you imagine he would have just like been the size of like whatchamacallit, like Devastator or something? He would have been
he was
huge.
He was bigger than Prime. He was this massive dude. And he's got shoulder rockets that he never thought to use. Look at that. He's got rockets on his arms.
He forgot in the heat of battle. He forgot. I think even in the animated show, he's only ever used them once.
Yeah, well, because like, they have to show it for the toys. Like, oh, those are rockets. That's why Jimmy died. All right.
Oh man.
And then you have, okay, that's some rando. Then like, they love each other. And yeah, then of course we have Redgar here, which will come later.
He's smiling. He was smiling there. That's beautiful. And Redgar seemingly is always smiling.
He is my favorite. He's my favorite person by far, mostly because he's just like such a random tool, and but his character, the idea of the character is amazing. So yeah, all these new guys, they just appear out of nowhere, and it's like this epic thing. And we're like, who the hell are these guys? Wait, what happened to Optimus? No! And then we're just like, yeah. We're a little bit torn and shaken, and it's like, why? And yeah, because
I'm glad the death didn't actually bother me as a kid. It was a shock, but man, I ran through the rest of the movie with excitement just to see like, oh shit, Optimus is dead. What are they gonna do? Half the other kids are just like
Wait, why am I not seeing the thing? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I didn't go far back enough because we also forgot about this guy, Blaster. Yeah, the good version of freaking Soundwave.
The good version of Soundwave.
Yeah, he's a radio who shoots out little pocket people. Like, I mean, I guess it's the easiest way just to recolor and give him a new head, and then boom, you have another guy. Actually,
they're actually two completely different models because Blaster is a boombox, and Soundwave is a cassette tape recorder, like a Walkman, completely different.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember,
if you put them side by side, the size is completely different too.
I remember just like I had a friend when I was a kid who had a Blaster, And yeah, he turned into a fully working cassette player. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool. And like, it was huge. He was like kind of like Unicron
Everybody,
sized.
everybody had at least that one friend that their parents just gave them all the Transformers. I
Yeah.
don't know if I hated that friend or loved them the most because I'd play with all their
Well,
Transformers.
that was the reason you had them as a friend. Like they were like,
I
of course,
wonder.
yeah, and like,
I'll have to think. I'll have to ask one of my childhood friends. Hey, man, when I came over, did I only play with your Transformers? Like, did I pay attention to you? Did I acknowledge your existence?
yeah. You know what? I met one of them at a wedding a few years ago, and I'm like, who? Like this guy comes, hey, it's you. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, you came over all the time. You always play. Oh, you were Voltron guy, the guy who had
Oh
all the Voltron
shit!
pieces. And that's the only thing I knew about this guy. I don't even remember his name to this day. If you're watching, dude, I am so sorry. I don't know who you are. To me, you're just the dude with the Voltron toys.
He knows who you are, but he
Like, I
doesn't
recognize his
know.
face. Well, I do now because I know what he looks like, 15 years later. But still,
Wow.
I,
Yeah, yeah. Man. Well, I had one childhood buddy that had all the Transformers. I had another childhood buddy that had all the WWE superstar wrestling toys
yeah,
at that time also. And I believe it was my cousin who had all the GI Joes and the expanding bridge tanks and stuff like that but not me.
nah,
Not me. Didn't even have all the Nintendo games.
nah. We had Nintendo. That was our thing. Actually, in my
Had Nintendo, yes, but not
yes.
all the
Oh well, yeah, like we had quite a few. We like and actually when Super Nintendo was a thing, we were the house to go to play Super Nintendo. Specifically, believe it or not, Tetris Attack, which was yeah,
Yes,
which is
yes, where
like
all the
this.
pieces could just
You,
you had the
s-
time
it was like this.
it just
It was
blow
like
up
yeah,
and
it was a
stuff.
swap puzzle game, and you had to make up combinations of three or more, and like
It was weird. Like you would drop something and then another piece would slide down and
no, that's Puyo
oh,
Puyo. That's no, what I'm thinking of, like the blocks come from the bottom, and you have to swap them around, kind of like Bejeweled. And the idea was
from
just
the bottom?
yeah, and they kept climbing up, and you had to keep mashing the pieces. And in verses, when you were fighting someone else, if you did a four or more, like cinder blocks would drop from the top, and they would block more. They would block anything coming in. They would get in the way, and but if you were to make a match while attaching them, it makes more. It became this whole thing, and we actually had tournaments at my house. That's where
Yeah.
I was as a kid. That was my
Wow.
thing when we were like we had this giant ass party. I remember it was a whole thing. There were like 30 people there all playing, and like for some reason my dad decided that was a good idea to make like giant just this giant thing of spaghetti. Like we had like he basically made like a chili pot of bolognese or like meat sauce, and then like just
Oh, leave it to dads, man.
yeah, seriously, it was the most epic thing. And I remember my mom was the one just to beat for some reason. This little old Greek lady. She's like she's just sitting there, she's like da 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 da. Like
Sometimes they just
yes,
pick it up and then it's that one game they stick to for the rest
yeah,
of your childhood.
just like she was just doing that thing where like just this little like tiny Greek woman. Like just imagine the Italian grandma. That's kind of what she looks like. And just imagine her, and she's just kind of humming something like some Greek song in her head, and it's like la 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 la, and like and like you have like this 16-year-old kid who's supposed to be like a pro gamer kid, just like what is happening, and like just epic things happening, just this little old lady la la la. It's beautiful. It was the most glorious shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um,
One
but
of my
yeah,
friend's moms whooped me at Tetris also, and she was the first one to like show me that uh you can actually hit level 99 and keep going. What? She's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was almost like on those Tetris tournaments that you see now where everything disappears and they're still slamming lines down. I've I have no idea how those people do that. It's
Yeah.
just an incredible skill that inherently I did not inherit.
Yeah, no, I totally get. That is how, yeah, everything was just, yeah. Yeah,
Oh
so yeah,
man,
back to Transformers. We just went a little
right?
bit memory lane there. Uh, yeah, so Blaster, yes, he was the epic toy that everyone wanted to see. He was the everyone we all had one of those friends who had him. But yeah, he was a
Yeah.
tape player. And like that was his excuse for being. I just put this picture up because we have epic Optimus. Okay, yeah, like let's talk for a little bit about how epic this show was. This
Oh,
movie was, because we're talking about the movie right now. I am going to play a
that's where it starts, right there.
I am going. Yes, this is where it gets awesome. I'm going to play a quick clip right now. Maybe like a good series of clips.
No matter the cost.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this. And this song. We're going to talk about the song. And then, yeah, just cutting a few bits. Because I just don't want to. And then, watch, he just freaking runs over everyone. And then, like, oh no, we can't shoot him.
Astro Crane's like, oh, I forgot I could fly.
Yeah, and then just epic. He killed Soundwave there. And yeah, and then there's the moment.
And he took it like a man to the chest.
Yeah, hold on. Let's just okay, this thing is skipping way too fast. Much. So yeah, he kills this guy, and then boom, Soundwave takes it in the chest. Look at that, Soundwave. Didn't he make it?
He has a plate shield right there in the chest.
So doesn't that mean okay? So what? Like Rumble? Oh my god! I have never seen Ravage after this moment. Ravage is dead. He killed Ravage.
Ravage took one for the team.
Yeah, that's the whole
I've never
reason.
considered that. Oh, that. There we go. That's something for you Transformer lore fans to actually go and research. I'm sure there's nothing about that. The disappearance of Ravage after that.
Yeah, he took one. Like you think Soundwave is dead, but no, he had a spare little front bit because he's perfectly fine.
A life for life.
Yeah,
my God.
He's got like 4 more of those too. I mean, he's got Ratbat and what's the name of that little bird one? Laserbeak and Rumble. Yeah, Friend for some reason.
Yeah. There's Rumble and Frenzy, the 2 twin dudes, and
yeah, they always had the arm thing. For some reason, that even though they were like human size, when they smashed the ground, it was enough to cause earthquakes.
In the series, they were always getting mixed up and calling each other's names to themselves. So Rumble would call himself Frenzy, and Frenzy would call himself for every episode. It's just you were never sure who was
you
who.
couldn't tell who was who because just the color swap. Yeah, and then of course.
Yeah.
And then of course the epic.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Yeah, that was the most epic. One of the most epic lines. I mean, I cut out a bunch of it. It's like, why? Then of course you have Megatron here going. And he had Megatron, why do you throw away your life so recklessly? And he's like, that's a question you should ask yourself. And then they have this epic fight scene, which I completely cut because I don't want to have too much of this because then we are going to get like copyright struck.
It is a good battle.
Yes.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, you have to have seen it. Basically, it's so old. It's probably older than like a lot of people watch it. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm actually I'm actually as old as this movie, so yeah. But don't worry, it wasn't spoiled.
Well, it came out in what? I forget now. 86. 86.
It came out in 86.
I was 5 when this movie came out.
And I was born.
Dang.
Yes.
Dang. All right, so yeah.
Yes, 2 great things that happened that year. Or 2 tragedies, depending on how you look at it. And then of course you have like I love this whole scene right here where like this is
Silver Prime.
Oh nope, a little bit ahead.
No.
Why did it do that? Oh my god!
That scenes look good too because nobody likes Hot Rod.
Okay, so we're just gonna I'm gonna fix that bit. So yeah, the part there where like Megatron is it's
that
over,
perfect
Prime.
shot.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. Look at that. Like, just hold on, and there. Like you see the damage. Like you can see all the scrapes and breaks. See his bleeding that energon out of his eyes and mouth, and like he's cracked beyond belief. Like
This is exactly one of the problems that they had with having so many animators working on one scene, which is why on certain frames you're perfectly fine, battle damage, perfectly fine, battle damage. Oh
yeah,
man,
but just this.
It's over, Prime.
that is straight up 80s battle damage too.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like, yeah, and like he just has that line, "It's over, Prime," and then of course he gets bitch slapped off the roof. And again, didn't clip it because I didn't want to put too much in there. Uh, and then it's just like this epic moment of, oh my god, it's awesome. Uh, and yeah, like stuff like that. That was so cool. They had so much good shit going on, and like even the part where you had
that from just toys, it it wasn't the opposite where usually you you make a story and then you make toys, or you make the cartoon and then the toys. This was just
yeah,
toys.
they had the toys, and then they decided to make a cartoon. They decided, yeah, they had the toys out, and they're like, oh, we should sell the toys better. Let's make a cartoon.
Yeah,
There, yeah,
that's just
there's a documentary on Netflix, the toys we made. I think.
yes, I love those things.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
talk about like for Transformers, for He Man, She-Ra, GI Joe, all of them, and they were all basically the same story. They wanted to sell these awesome toy lines, and decided that the best way to do it was making a TV show to advertise it.
That yes, that is true. I think one of the only things from back then that actually wasn't I guess victim to that, I think is probably got to be Ninja Turtles, because it started in comics, got the
Yes,
cartoon, and then they made the toys to go with it.
yes, and oh yeah, yeah, that was the thing. And but then again, the comics were so different to the cartoon. Oh, we could do a whole episode on that. That's, write that
That
shit down.
that should definitely be another one, looking at the OG Ninja Turtles.
Writing that down.
OG
Yeah. By the way,
back in the day.
yeah. So by the way, kind of a cutaway. We are actually, this is kind of the idea of it. We're taking like things that are famous right now, but we're talking about their '80s nostalgic versions. So that, like, Transformers,
They're they're better versions. They're
yes,
better.
like Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He Man. I don't think there's a current He Man. Well, She-Ra, but
There's been like 4 other incarnations of He-Man since,
yeah,
so
I know. But then again, like, current stuff, like things like
all
that.
right.
But yeah.
Well, no, they're I know Thundercats has resurfaced as a kiddie
Oh,
show.
yeah.
It's all
They're.
these chibi things.
Oh my god! I saw an episode of that, and I like the old man in me had a moment. Like,
Well, it's like mixing. Well, I guess it's basically the idea. You take Thundercats and you take Teen
go.
Titans Go, and you mix them together.
I hate Teen Titans Go personally. Like, I understand why, and I appreciate what it is. I
Oh,
hate Teen
good
Titans
stuff.
Go though. I hated what it is because I like I like my comic books to have actiony stuff in them. That's kind of what
Well,
it's
I
all
mean,
about.
Beast Boy was all over Raven's legs, so
I know he was humping her like a dog, which is accurate to the show, but still, or to the, but like, oh, I got like,
all right. We
all right,
gotta circle back to
circle
Transformers
back
again.
to Transformers. Yes. So yeah, freaking nostalgia trips here. Let's see, but yeah, so we okay. So yeah, like we have epic scenes here. Like, it's just so much cool shit happening, and like the whole idea of the show is back to the toy thing, was that they were trying to turn. Let's take away this real quick. They were trying to turn these guys that we're seeing right here into, and I really should have made it better. Where is it? Where is it? No, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Oh my God, where is it? There it is. These guys. They were trying to make it so that these guys were the new toys that everyone was gonna buy. Them, Cup, Hot Rod, all
Oh, right.
this
Yeah.
happy little dude who I think turns into a bicycle. I'm not sure. No, a motorcycle.
Uh,
Yeah, and they're all friends and
all
stuff. I
all
think
the Junkions turned into some vehicle that another Junkion could ride, essentially.
that always bothered me too. That was always something that I always thought was so annoying. Like,
Well, they were all they're I don't know, they're made of spare parts,
oh
essentially.
no, not that. How the hell are they able to ride each other? They're supposed to be robots that are the size of like small buildings, and then that's why they can turn into vehicles.
Well, contrary to some of the other Autobots, they're all one size. So if it's basically like just piggyback riding your buddy, essentially. They didn't shrink. They literally stayed one size. Uh, unless there's an episode that contradicts that, where maybe like Spike rides one. I don't know.
Think of it this way. Okay, so do you think that? Okay, so okay, let's look at something. I'm gonna go back to a few clips here, because it'll explain it. Because this is stuff that always bothered me. So yeah, we're here. Okay. Yes. The Decepticons die, Autobots, and then he transforms into a gun that now freaking Starscream can hold. He turns into something that fits in a man's hand.
They're it's not even a fan theory, but it has been explained that they can manipulate not time but space.
Yes.
Which is why Astro Train normally fits on regular train tracks, but when you need to transport all the Transformers, everybody walks in and it's just ginormous.
So they all have freaking they're all freaking what do you call it? TARDISes or something. They have like form manipulation as well as size, because there's also a scene in there where
mass manipulation. That's what I was looking for.
Mass
there we go.
So like you have, because there's also a scene where Galvatron, the thing that Megatron turns into, you have him flying inside of one of his his subordinates, who's like a fire who's like some kind of alien fighter plane thing. Cyclonus. He's inside Cyclonus, and so he's inside a jet. Like this giant robot is inside a jet. That fits a man.
He does get into his cockpit. Yeah, for a second I was thinking that was their battleship, but it's not.
No,
that's right.
Yeah, I wish I could have clipped that. I gotta shut this ahead. Yeah, there's even a part where they're shooting at him, and then I think Ultra Magnus gets him with a hit, and he's literally he's just it's like, you damn kids.
I imagine Transformer paint jobs must cost a lot.
I know, I swear to God, they have their buff guy must be it must be the equivalent of the neutral party. They have this place where they go just to get shit cleaned out and moved, and it's like,
with the Decepticons in mind, I assume they own a couple of intergalactic chop shops or something.
Seriously.
We'll fix you up, man. We'll fix you up. Hey, why don't you give me a new plate while you're at it? And then bam, got some sort of Cadillac plate going on.
I mean, with the exception of Cup, everyone always looks really fresh and clean. I mean, you have okay, hold on.
I think he just enjoys being worn out. But in the Transformers series, they actually show him as a younger man. So I guess you have to take it that because their metal ages, once it does start aging, there's no going back.
Yeah,
plus, he's been in all these wars and everything.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He has that. He has a little bit of rust right there on his like on the right side of his chest plate, and a little bit on his shoulder.
To
Like,
to this day, I'm still wondering what parts did Rodimus forget out of his leg or whatever. He's like, blasted
you left
kid.
a piece out.
Yeah, and he's like,
just a
but all
little
things
stiff.
considered, I feel great. I'm like, but what? Did he forget to put your brakes back in or
No,
something?
he's just like he says it. Nah, you're just a little stiff. That's all he says it. Like, you're just being an ass. Like, that's all it really is.
He was busted apart underwater, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like water damage there too. Like he probably like has his leg is a little bit like just full of water, and it's like, huh.
With the electronics in his leg, man, he should have shorted out or something.
Nah, these guys, even in pieces, these guys are watertight. They're good that way. Yeah,
I guess if you're completely there's a word I can't say. Compartmentally. I can say compartment. Yes, that word. I can say compartment. I can say mentally, but for some reason I cannot merge those words. I end up with compartmentally or compartment. I almost had it. Whatever. Just compartment. There we go. If I say it real slow, that's what they probably had right there. It's horrible. That word is so difficult. And I realized I'm not the only one who has a problem with that word.
Congratulations. But yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, so yes, they're all compartmentalized. Their bodies can withstand damage. And actually, yeah, there was actually supposed to be in this like extended lore that like as long as one, like there's three pieces of them, like the brain, the spark, and like the transforming matrix or whatever.
Yeah, they're cog, the transforming cog.
Yeah, and as long as one of those three parts still function, as even if like their head's completely removed, as long as one of the three parts function, they can be revived. That was the explanation as to why all these dead Transformers and Autobots and shit were just coming back later on.
I guess that works for Ultra Magnus, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean he did explode and then like put back together.
But he exploded perfectly because
that's true.
They just slid the parts back in.
Yeah,
joint in, click, joint in.
Yeah, these guys. I'm just gonna love the freaking video. I'm just gonna love the movie. And we're just gonna watch that part. I'm gonna grab that.
Come on, Prime. You said this was late our darkest hour.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to that part in a minute too, because Jesus Christ. Hold on. Nope. We're gonna go to. Why do I have no access to anything? So yeah, we're on. Skip ahead. Yeah, we have. There's Ultra Magnus. Okay, so we're actually too far ahead because he is.
But it's perfectly fine. They're. I think they showed a little bit after though.
Yeah,
when they reassemble him.
The Matrix, there is no hope at all.
Actually, I want to show something about that. That's very important. Skipping ahead. Oh no, he's fine. Epic scene. Yeah, actually,
time out.
First.
Come. Talk to me.
See all those bubbles? That means water's getting in
right away.
That's what's happening. His metallic lungs should be filling up. Look at that.
Well, I mean,
he should weigh a ton by the time he comes out of the water.
Yeah. Okay, then they have the cute scene with the kid.
Does it? Well, what do you think?
Just think about what you want to do first. Yeah! Hey, I got it!
Of all the second glitch diode blowing dimwittery, you left a piece out.
No way! You're just a little stiff.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, all things.
There's the scene.
Yeah, that's the scene. Like, you're just a little stiff, and look at him, still just freaking completely, like just uggo. Like he's like
the
old
Junkions. They could have used that special liquid oil thing, and they could have shined him up, man.
Yep. We're gonna get there in a second. I'm just trying to find the part. Why did I actually skip it again?
It should be not too long after they escape the Sharkticons.
Okay, so first off, yeah, here. I thought I saw it a second ago. Oh god, I hate how I have to skip this like in a very Yeah, so you see right here, there's freaking Galvatron inside one of his human-sized planes.
Well, they're in space fighting Transformers, so maybe
That thing has to
it's
be
Transformer size.
That thing has to be the size of a frigate. That's all I'm saying. To fit him like that.
Well, if you listen to the Michael Bay movies, Transformium can transform into any size and
Transformium doesn't exist, and we do not talk about it.
Oh, should we bring up Marvel's Unobtainium? Oh man!
Oh God, MacGuffin. Oh yeah, and then here's this thing.
Oh!
Damn it! Open.
Stand back.
I actually have a thing about
You
this.
said the Matrix.
Okay, first off, wait. Look at his hands. Look at where they are. Keep that in mind, everybody. Everybody, keep this in mind. Where's his
Our
hands?
darkest hour.
He can't
Well,
open it.
They're on the
I
side
want
of the
the
Matrix,
Matrix.
but they're not in the.
Never.
They're not in the
Please terminate him.
But he didn't know. Who's the last person that opened the Matrix? Not him.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Die.
Also, boom! Explodes. Now, also notice. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna talk about.
What a beast!
Yeah. Also, okay. So just again, notice the finger holes. We're gonna get back to this. Notice those finger holes.
Wait, notice them as in.
Realize
are you
that
counting
they're
them?
realize they're there.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna skip on a little bit ahead to after epic scene fight that happened here, which isn't necessary. They have the fight scene with the. They have the fight scene with the Junkions, which is super epic.
Time to knock him down. It's getting them to stay down. That's the
We
trick.
knock them down, but they keep getting back up.
You check in, but you don't check out.
Okay, so yeah, Junkions are amazing. I love them, and these guys are the reason why I fell in love with Weird Al
I
Yankovic.
just realized. Look at where his.
Yes,
blasters
he
are.
has nipple lasers. He has nipple lasers.
I always thought they were up here, like on the chest
No.
somewhere.
Pew pew. Like he milks it. That's right. That's right.
Oh, this whole time opening up my eyes. Every time we rewatch the movie,
Every time.
automatically learn something.
I knew that from when I was a child. I'm
I can't
that
believe
kind
I
of
didn't
weird.
Pick up on that.
Yeah, and then of course they come in to save the world, and then here's one of my favorite scenes.
Remember, Ba weep grana, weep nitty
Oh, right.
The universal greeting.
Ba weep grana, weep nitty bon.
They never used it again after this movie. It meant nothing. It meant nothing.
Yes, but I said it so much as a kid. I just kept saying it to everyone whenever I meet them. Like I walk up, we mini bob, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, kid?"
Exactly. I've done that too. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's universal greeting. You should understand it."
It's
But
the
nobody knows what it actually means. It's just like,
Is it
would you like some Energon?
like? Is it because I don't have a cookie? Do I need a cookie?
Also, this is also the one and only last time in any reference where they've had basically Energon in a pack of gum. It's just
Yeah, little candies.
they've never
Oh yeah, and
never
then
had that.
and then here's just another like what the,
Soon like brand new with
like
90
that's
day
what we're
warranty.
talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
they just stick them all together.
It's
Give
like
them a bit of
toy
spin
model.
polish.
Just everything just goes
Happy Monday.
Guy's nuts. I love it. And then boom!
They buffed out the holes and the cracks and everything.
Like, why couldn't they just bring freaking Optimus to there? Like,
Well, probably because he was still at the same color. Prime went completely dark, so
yeah, that's
the
true.
spark had left. The
His
spark had left.
Well, he did rip out the Matrix and just give it to the guy. So like,
yeah,
you know,
that, you know.
yeah. Okay.
Oh man,
Yeah.
look at his back though. He been working out. He's been working out.
he's well built. Yes.
Dum, 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 right? Baby got back. No.
Yeah. And then of course.
Uh,
Okay, and again, behold this part, with the part where Galvatron decides that he's going to try to betray Unicron.
Bricks. I now possess
yo,
that which
imagine
you
they would have messed with us right here and started playing. You got the touch. Feel my power, Unicron. Like that.
Yeah, and then he tries to open. Look where his fingers are. Notice the finger holes. Notice where his hands are.
Yeah, but also notice at the moment one side had 2 finger holes, the other side had 3.
I know.
And sometimes there's enough for 4.
I know, but okay, but keep in mind there are finger holes on that thing. They're always grabbing around them and trying to pull. Now, also,
maybe he thought it was like those what do you call them, the Chinese finger traps? Maybe he was scared.
Maybe, but now, okay. Also, just because we're here, I want to put up the scene. Just like, oh, it turns out he's a transformer.
Yo, I never saw that coming either. I was just as stupid as Galvatron.
Yeah, my childhood version of shit was lost.
That was.
And then like, oh my god! And the way he's just like massively, slowly, just shifting into this form.
Oh man,
he wears it like bling. I love it. He doesn't fit in his chest.
I think this is where Michael Bay got the idea for the very first transformations for all the Transformers that took like 5 minutes each.
Wait.
Considered sparing your wretched planet Cybertron. Now, you shall witness its dismemberment.
By the way, Leonard Nimoy and what was the guy's name? The famous actor man who did the War of the Worlds thing?
It's Orson Welles.
Orson Welles was Unicron. Leonard Nimoy was freaking Galvatron. How weird is that? How messed up is that? To think that 2 iconic voices, 2 iconic people in media, they do this, and this was Orson Welles' final performance. This was the last thing he did before he died.
He understood nothing of the movie. He didn't know the role he was doing. He was already very deathly ill when he came in to voice those things. Some of his lines were apparently even done just over the phone, which is crazy because you cannot tell. That must have been some insane phone quality to just pull those performances out of that.
Yeah.
He had no idea. So I'm a giant planet. He had no idea, man.
Yeah. And okay, but, and so just final thing about the holes. Okay, so yeah. Now we're gonna watch this final scene, and then we're gonna actually start talking some more before I start getting us copyright struck. Okay, and yeah, so he pulls it off. He's like, oh my god, so epic. He magically transforms into a giant robot. Like, he ages somehow, even though he's a robot. Becomes immune to lasers. And
that's also an homage to the very first time Optimus resurfaced after getting reformatted into Optimus, and Megatron shoots him with his cannon right in the chest, and he's like, "What? What are you? I'm your worst nightmare, Megatron." And it's just like, you took his fusion cannon to the chest, but later on you can't. Of course, it's a million years later. Like, I guess maybe his chest plate gave out after a million years.
Oh, or maybe it's just like, when he had like a bit of a weird jumpstart thing going on that got him like extra going. Who knows? I think that's probably it. That's probably got it.
You think there'd be an equivalent to Transformer Adrenaline?
Maybe like kind of like an overcharge. Like the Matrix isn't really being used at any point, but now for some reason it is. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead a bit. Okay, he gets thrown out of the thing, and now here's the most important part. There, right there. No one else thought to do that. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, elephants! Oh my god!
But look at that. He's that beefy, and he's pulling like a light our darkest hour. Like
but he's using the finger holes. No one uses the finger holes.
I'm starting to wonder, did like Optimus even ever use the actual finger holes too?
He never used the Matrix. The Matrix is invented in this movie. So, it never came up before.
I'm trying to think. Because it's hard to flash back mentally between the TV show and the movie. Because one was to introduce the other season with the other Transformers.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did have a few episodes on Cybertron. Oh, I guess, or was this after the return of Prime that he voyaged into the Matrix?
That was after.
Was it after?
It was after.
But he was dead. So it must have been before.
Maybe it was, but it wasn't in the Matrix. He just returned to Alpha Trion. We're gonna have to do a bit more research. We are bad at researching, but yeah, no.
Episode 2.
The whole thing about all this, my whole deal is that he used the freaking finger holes. That's why he was able to open it. Yes, it did react to it first, but then
he got the wisdom of the Matrix, and the wisdom of the Matrix said, "Put your fingers in the damn hole, boy. That's it.
That's how you open me, you dump."
He's just struggling the whole time.
Hold on. We got actually something. We have a lot of words here from one of our viewers. The Matrix was originally placed inside the hilt of the Star Saber, which was wielded by Prime, the very first Transformer created by Primus. The Matrix was passed down in succession to the leaders of the Autobots. The first Prima, then Nova Prime, then Sentinel Prime, then Optimus Prime, and then finally Rodimus Prime. Yeah, but that's extended lore that was created after all this. I'm kind of talking about the idea of
lore is partially incorrect because Starscream gets the Star Saber.
Wait, what?
Starscream. What? Rodimus never gets the Star Saber.
Well, they neither does Optimus. Optimus just has the Matrix.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh well, Prima. Maybe.
The line of succession is right, but I'm guessing there's just a certain point where it stops being a sword and they just start sticking in their chest cavities.
Well, they did have the episode where they were actually showing during the Great War, before they had an actual Prime leader, where they would continuously pass down the Matrix during each battle. Somebody would get shot. He'd, here, take it. And the next person would take the Matrix, run. Then whenever they would get shot, he'd give it to someone in their dying breath. But nobody maxed out. Nobody got their Prime on. They were all stinky bots.
Yeah, but neither did Ultra Magnus until he held that thing for freaking days. And then
there's either the Matrix chose Hot Rod the second he touched it, or it's just essentially whoever touches it after a Prime gives it, and then just happened to touch Hot Rod.
Yeah.
So he just accidentally activated it.
Yeah, there was just a part where in the beginning, skipping all the way back.
Yeah, because the whole hand slips. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's to you, old friend.
Shooty. Oh no, everyone's sad.
Prime,
everyone's sad.
I'm just a soldier. I'm not worthy. Neither was I when I first got it. It's just like,
light our darkest
and then he opens up the chest cavity, because for some reason all Transformers have a Matrix chest cavity for this exact purpose. Hey, look, my beating heart. Take it, guys. Come on, come and grab it. Oh wow, it's important. He just ripped his. Wait, I just saw.
I think that's why everybody backed up. They're just like, his chest can open.
And then boom.
Right there, right there. See, so it's either it chose him or it's literally just supposed to activate on the next person that touches it.
And then he
So-
gives it to this asshole.
Could have been a goof.
He gave it to this asshole. That's all I'm saying. Who
Oh,
also
oh,
has a chest cavity.
There is a scene here. Notice that when he puts it in his chest, it floats there for a second, and then he just puts it back in. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, such a weird thing.
It just floats there. Shouldn't float.
It shouldn't float. I mean, this isn't.
Hey, Cup smiling again. Actually, they're both smiling. That's a good shot. That's a very good shot.
Yeah, I know. That's just from the pictures. I just had that random.
That is a good picture.
Yeah, and then I have a bunch of these. Like I grabbed a whole bunch of pictures. Actually, some of them are pictures. Some of them are actually the video. But just like
have fun, Shabbatha.
Later,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? We want to talk about like universal reading, just because I want to go through some of the other clips I actually did clip and just decided not to use because I'm smart that way. Go into there. Yeah, we saw the badass Optimus moment, and I want to show just a couple. Yeah, the first time they tried the universal reading, just to talk about how bad they failed.
Well, it's no worse than Star Trek's universal reading.
See, the universal greeting works every
They all
time.
say it. Maui Brana, quick, give them some energons.
Give them an energon goodie. This is
I like that.
expensive.
It's like, it's expensive. Don't worry, they'll reciprocate.
I thought they're supposed to reciprocate. Yeah, that's yeah, so yeah, whole thing. So yeah, no, that's like just talking about like what really bothered me about it. Just the fucking holes, man. They had holes. There was holes in the goddamn Matrix. No one thought to open the holes. And speaking of things, weird things with the Matrix, like it's always played the touch. Now it played it once here.
It was baked into the Matrix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Matrix wasn't actually the like some kind of special magical thing. It was just like a first attempt at a MP3 player that had only one song in it as like the test song, which was
It one
The
up
Touch.
Blaster.
And yeah, it's like it's the progenitor of Blaster essentially, and it and like but anytime you turn that shit on, it gets really like it's really overpowering and it really messes up like really sensitive electronics. So you think
we should make a spoof about that. Just anytime you hear it, could you please put the Matrix down? And it's just like Rodimus or something with his chest open, just blasting the music.
Yeah,
I kind of gotten into the song after 1,000 years.
yeah. It's like like, it's like that scene from How I Met Your Mother. It's like you're like don't worry, it'll come back. It's like you'll get into it again, and that's just how it is. Like, you got the touch, which actually works because for me that happened. Like I listened to that song a lot as a kid, and then I got to a point where I'm like, oh god. And then like I think when we were
it does grind you a bit. It does get there, but then every couple of years it comes back to just
the
I
epic
like this song again.
Yeah,
it's weird.
After all is said and done.
But the soundtrack on that whole movie is
I listened to that soundtrack. That was pure awesome hair metal mixed in with some epic synthesized 80s music. It was beautiful.
That was some hard-hitting synth too. That's some hard-hitting synth.
And then of course, dare to believe you can't survive. Yeah, that's which Hot Rod's theme essentially. But yeah, no, they oh wow, yeah, dang, itchy head. Just we're so off track here.
We don't even need a script because wait, how is it that from Tropic Thunder?
I'm the script.
He's like, I don't read the script. Script reads me. that
Uh,
that that's the attitude everyone should have when there's a planned subject and the subject blows and opens up 10 other subjects.
fair point. Fair point. But yeah, like
We were like movie, and then we went to cartoons, little flashback of something else and something else, and it's a whole world. It's a whole world of joy. This is the great thing about Transformers too. It's the fact that it continuously, to this day, even the old material will just make your mind blossom and have new ideas and and new theories beyond what the original idea of the creators was. And that's what's beautiful about it.
that's
And
so true.
you got a lot of stuff today. It's so commercially produced that you kind of get bored. I've gone through many different iterations of a lot of the other stuff, and in terms of Transformer, I consumed a lot because I still love Transformers to this day, obviously. but a lot of them you'll want to skip through. You can feel that it's boring. We didn't have filler back then. We was a story that had to get out that wanted the kids to be super interested in the toys or whatever. So we didn't have filler. And that's why we have great memories about this. Zero filler.
Yeah, seriously.
Uh,
Even if it would be considered filler, it wasn't filler. It was just an episode that was just meant to have fun. And you had fun with
yeah.
those episodes. Like the episode where they just magically had like a dinosaur island. That's like, oh, dinosaurs exist on this island. That'll inspire me to make the Dinobots. Or like, oh, this special place has this weird gold goo that makes us immortal. Let's all
Oh, the
cover each
gold
other with that
goo.
and shoot each other for no reason. Even though like
But still, man, some of those ideas were amazing. One of my favorite episodes has nothing to do with the actual Autobots. It's it's an episode where it's right after the movie, where the Decepticons they're all starving to death, and they decide they need to go find Galvatron. They find Galvatron taking a hot bath on some far away planet. I have no idea how they even did that. And they decide that he's gone a little crazy, a little bonkers, and they're like, maybe he needs therapy. So they bring up they capture him by force. They bring him to a planet uh, where they actually make him go through therapy, which is insane. And he's all tied up in chains, like, "I'll destroy you all!" Like he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. And what they essentially do is they hook him up to the planet, an entire planet which has a conscience, which is supposed to reformat you, wipe your mind. But he's so crazy, he makes a planet go crazy. One robot makes an entire planet go insane. That's just that
that's
was some
80s
good
right
stuff.
there. That's what you get in the 80s.
Oh man. Uh Galvatron. Man, he was so good.
He was
And
just such a
I
badass character.
actually
They ruined him.
uh well, later on, I don't know, British Galvatron was a little bit weird. Nice to see you, Optimus. Like, mm,
No,
I
he
like
had
Crazy
like
Guy.
yeah, crazy. Well, yeah. You know what? Crazy bad guy is always more fun than I'm so smarter than you.
Yeah,
Mm,
it it it's what made G.I. Joe good. Cobra
yeah,
Commander, man.
yeah.
That
Guy was a nutso. It's like I'm gonna make a weather dominator, and it's gonna blow your shit up.
Cobra!
Like running around screaming like snakes, like
Fail,
Cobra!
fail.
And then they have the other guys go up and scream back, well, you know what, Yo Joe! And then they're like, what? And then they shoot lasers at each other.
And the
And no
best
one
thing about
dies.
those two shows, the same cast. The same
Yeah,
cast, back and forth.
it was the one time Starscream got to be in charge, and you saw how up it was. No one respected him. Destro was practically the guy in charge.
Uh,
And then there was that snake
uh,
guy. Then it turns out they were all snake people.
Serpentor.
Yes, and then like
Ay.
yeah, and then Snake People. Oh god, the movie where they decided to make them all about like Arab snake people just because of like Iraq or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that had potential for live action, and they messed it up with
Oh
super
my
suits.
god, don't yeah. What is it supposed to enhance? I mean, they tried to
Oh, good
fix it
lord.
in Rise of Cobra, but still did not do a good job. And actually, we were talking about the new stuff. The only movie so far that I've watched that didn't make me like hate my childhood or just hate what they'd done to it was Bumblebee, the Bumblebee
Yes,
movie. That was
it's
glorious.
because they have Cybertron, they have the G1 Transformers. Eh, If they would have kept that entire movie with that amazing CG in there,
Yeah, not just the CG, but the way they transformed, the way they looked, the way they behaved, and like
they had it all down.
and like the way and it was a good way of getting like the character to kind of mesh in proper and work well with it. Why he like, and of course they had to keep it. Oh, he doesn't talk because of reasons, but then they made it work, and it was super cool. And then like my favorite part of it though was there was just that part in the beginning where like, oh no. It's like the Decepticons have broken the line. We're doomed. And then Optimus like, "Where's the protagonist?" And then Bumblebee just comes in wrecking shit. Like, and then freaking British accent is like, "I'm right." It's like, "I'm right here, sir, and I've come to wreck shit." And then like, yeah,
Wait, wait, I don't remember the
he had a
No,
slight British accent.
that was at the end of the first
No,
Michael Bay movie where Wheeljack
yeah,
fixes his shit.
in the very beginning of the Bumblebee movie, when Bumblebee comes in super epic shooting guys and then like ends up like right in front of Optimus, he talks. He does talk
Yeah.
he does talk for a chunk of it, and he has a slight British accent.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to watch that again.
I watched it a few times. I love that movie. That was a good movie. I
I have to
loved it.
watch it again. I watched
highly
it a few
recommend the
times
Bumblebee
too.
movie. Like it's a coming
And
of age
thankfully,
story.
John Cena didn't mess it up.
John Cena is a good actor. The only problem is that because he tries to do movies that have kids involved, that are for kids, and it's the directors who screw it up. So he does movies that are like supposed to be amazing, that he does an amazing job in. Like I say, he does an amazing job for what these movies are. He's
That's
trying his
like
best.
what is it?
But like the movies themselves, they suck.
The Rock and the Tooth Fairy.
Exactly.
They had Jackie Chan, who was a babysitter, I think.
Yeah.
Or Hulk Hogan had a babysitter. It doesn't work. Big guys and kids just don't work.
Nope. But then again,
giant robots and kids work though.
When did that ever happen?
Transformers.
Spike
Unicron
was
huge.
Okay, the parts I hated the most were the parts where Daniel was involved. He was very minimal. He was luckily very minimal in the story. They had one scene where they were just showing him how to wear an exosuit, and then where they were about to murder him, he was able to transform away. And then a scene where he saves his dad from being boiled alive in acid.
That was all luck. That was just like,
that kid was just
they didn't do it.
He was just button mashing on a panel on his arm, like, and then finally, pew!
Well, he's just like, I don't know. No one ever showed me this.
And you hear the fear in Spike's voice, like, hurry! Oh God, just push a button. You're gonna kill your dad.
Yeah.
And
there was there was a lot of loss of hope at that very moment. I was like, no. More great G1 characters.
Yeah, Spike lost hope at that moment. He's like, oh God, my kid's gonna do this. He's retarded. I'm never gonna get out. I spent too much time with Bumblebee. Why didn't I hang out with my son more? What?
I just got a flashback. Nope. Actually, it's not a real flashback. It's a fake one. For a second, I thought I flashed back to that other gray Transformer who got blown away in Autobot City. I was thinking it was Beachcomber, but it is not Beachcomber. So
it's not.
Let's forget that.
All right.
I thought I had it. Oh.
Yeah, just that whole thing where they're but they had a few scenes with him and he wasn't in 90%. Most of the movie was Hot Rod and Cup, or or Team B, as I like to call them, the other guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, was there another team?
Nope.
No.
Nope. There was Hot Rod and Cup, and then there was Ultra Magnus, the one that we keep forgetting the name to, and RC, and they had that. Danny was there too, and they put a suit on him because it was cool. And I guess they wanted to sell that for the kids.
Are we sure it's not Rotor? I keep thinking, but
okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up a thing here. Okay, Transformers movie
Transformers
1986.
There we go.
Transformers names. Okay, so let's see. You got Unicron, Orson Welles, Peter Cullen was Prime, Frank Welker was Megatron, Judd Nelson. Why does it sound familiar?
Because he was Hot Rod.
Yes, I know he's Hot Rod.
The Breakfast Club. Judd Nelson. He's the guy at the end. Like, that
guy. Okay. This Christopher Collins was Starscream. Bumblebee. Okay, Great Bird. Okay, non-important. Wow, they used a different thing for Ultra Magnus in the picture. Just Scatman. Wait, Scatman Crothers? Really? That's his...
He did jazz. Yeah, they had an official jazzman doing that shit.
RC, Wreck-Gar. God, they can't use that for Devastator. There's Blaster. They use the comic version for his picture. Slime, Swoop, Ramjet.
Definitely not Ramjet, that's for sure.
There's Springer. His name is Springer.
I knew it was like a at the end. I was like Rotor or something. Rotor, Springer, it's all the same. You need rotators to get your springs going. Was association by what do you call it? Association by default or something?
I don't know. Yeah, Springer. Yes.
Springer. There we go. Now this is probably gonna hold in for like a year, and then I'll forget again.
We'll see. Probably. Yeah.
How crappy was his sword, though? Think about that.
Oh yeah,
he has a sword on him at all times. One chop or actually a couple chops, but still a couple chops from.
Freaking Wreck-Gar wrecks that with his axe. Jesus.
Damn, it's just ting ting ting, and then oh no, it's broken.
You broke my sword. No. And then again, he was never really good at it. He tried to fly away, and then freaking they grabbed him, and pulled him back down, had him he's just not good at his job. He's not a good. That's why.
He wasn't that good in the show either. And in fact, I don't even think he was in a lot of episodes because the Dinobots stole the show quite a lot.
Oh yeah. That was the whole thing, wasn't it? Well, because they were so good in the movie, they did kind of stole a lot of the good things in the movie. There was they had a lot of their own scenes. There was in the beginning where Optimus tells them to go murder Devastator. It's like Dinobots destroy Devastator, and then it's like me Grimlock love challenge, and then they jump him.
Yeah. It's the same thing when he tells them to take down Unicron.
Yeah,
it's like Grimlock need new plan. It's
no, it's
but they were legit doing damage. If they would have stayed there,
Grimlock,
nobody else was doing damage except the Dinobots
because they kick ass. And of course, they're the ones who saved Hot Rod and Cup in the that one scene where they're being attacked by all those Sharkticons. And then all of a sudden they just kind of walk in, and then
the door.
Yeah. Excuse me. And then freaking the whatever the hell that jury guy, not jury, the bailiff guy.
He was a Quintesson.
Well, there was a Quintesson judge, which we'll get to maybe one day. But then but it was the bailiff who was like, Sharkticons, execute them! And then, Grimlock's like, me Grimlock say you execute them!
You execute them!
And then
they're just
And then like,
well, I
and
think there's going to be a change.
Yeah, they look at him, they look at them, like, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. 'Cause, yeah.
Well, you got a giant dino that could squish you versus another dude who could verbally assault you? I'll take the verbal lickings any day.
Yeah, I mean, considering the two smaller ones were able to wreck a lot of their shit, you get the big guys in there. Like, what's gonna happen?
Well, see, that's another thing. If they're Sharkticons, I assume that they really only eat other organic metals. So technically, would Energon have really tempted them over?
Maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know what their whole thing is. All I know is that, like, you know, it was a super epic scene where Grimlock decided that he wanted to, that he had like to just
even the scene before that, when they finally transform and he's like, let's have a wrecking derby, and they just start spinning that whirlpool, and then the music gets all epic again. It's just there's just the music sells every scene in those movies so much.
They did have, we talked about it a few times already. I mean, like, freaking the touch, then, like, you know, they had the touch in the beginning where, like, Optimus just comes out, and then they had, you know, or before that, like, when you just had, like, the epic, you know, the epic, like the epic drive scene. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, and then it turns into a fight scene. Actually, hold on. I actually have a clip that kind of works with that, because I wanted to show how much I love Cup. Where is? I know I saved it. Where'd it go?
We're gonna have to dedicate a whole episode to Cup.
Yes, because he is my favorite person of all time. I could have sworn I saved a scene where he's like, oh, I saved that scene where he's just like, where he's trying to. Where is it?
Where he's trying to what? What was Cup trying to do?
Well, there was a guy who was going to kill freaking Hot Rod, and then he's like, well, guess what? No. I made so many of them, and it didn't happen. Okay, fine. We're doing this the hard way. We're doing this.
Movie, or was it a cartoon clip?
It was in the movie. It was in this movie where Cup grabs hold on.
When he punches the Sharkticon right in the teeth?
No, another part. Hold on. Is it before this?
Where they run over the Insecticon?
No, this.
Down, Auto Brat.
Oh, where he swings on the tank.
Yes, this right here. Then, bam! Here she comes. And there's that music right there. And then, wah!
That's what sells it right there.
Yeah, kills that freaking like insect guy. And then, bam! They knock into each other.
The Insecticons. Oh man, I only ever had one Insecticon, and I couldn't say which one it is, considering they were an entire colony. But I know there were 3 main guys, I think, that controlled each part of their insect type, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, and they killed one, and then they ran over the other 2.
And it was the one that got shot. That was the one I had.
Well, too bad for you. I
kill off all my toys.
And yeah, just Cup right there. Like, just that scene, him alone. He has been always my favorite. I've always loved him as a character. Like, just.
Well, he's got all those great war stories that Grimlock loves.
Yeah, the war stories alone were my.
Me, Grimlock, love Cup war stories.
You're living one now.
Started back with the bats on Andromeda. They're just like, yay!
Yeah, everyone, you'll never be if you don't return to the city.
Interesting. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm just cycling through these right now. But yeah, so shit, where was I? Yeah. No.
I think if we circle back, we were still going on about the finger slots on the Matrix.
No, we're not. We're done with that. No, I've had my screen fit. Like I got angry. I'm back to normal. We're done with that. No, we were
Ding,
talking
ding,
about how
ding.
epic the music
Finger
was.
slots.
Like we were talking about how epic the music was. Like there was that scene. And then like, you know, then when Optimus just goes ape shit on
Even though
like,
even the music that's just music, it's just
yeah.
it's just so good. Man, just dance, 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 dum 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 dum. Let's just say
Yeah.
everything is just so good in there.
You don't get
Oh,
that kind of musical score anymore either. That's just like that is just some epic stuff. That is just stuff
well,
that works.
the funny thing that I always found was, in contrast, that when the music was made for the movie, because the electronic scene was so out there, they perfectly scored it. But in contrast, the TV show was still orchestrated. Like they had trumpets and drums and shit. Bow, 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 da, 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 da,
Yeah.
down, down, bow, bow, right? It's
Yeah, I
just-
mean, like for this, they just had a bit of a better score. And again, like I said it before, I will say it again. These are the reason why. These guys are the reason why I love Weird Al Yankovic. It's the reason why. That's how I got into him. I was like a 3-year-old, like
Oh,
like
I I I'm trying to think if I was, because I mean, again, I wasn't that much older still, but I'm trying to think because I remember I had records of him for most just a couple of his parodies, but I can't honestly remember if I heard his parodies first because I used to get up, play those things, and I jump up on my little computer. Well, we call them computer desk now, but it wasn't a computer desk, just a big work desk in a room that my parents had for me to play in. And I'd get up there and sing, and because they were, I think they were 45s or whatever the smaller ones are called, you had to press the 2X on the record player so it would play at normal speed, but I would just leave it real slow. Normal speed, man. Oh, it's so good. So good.
you know, I watch, you know, I yeah. No, I was young. I was young enough that CDs were a thing, or like yeah, CDs were a thing, dude. I'm sorry.
What? Records, baby, they're still being used today for the sound enthusiast.
Yes,
I'm
but
not
also
I'm not one of those guys.
yeah, but also I was like 5, like
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm also saying. I'm like, I don't remember enough. But I mean I could have had all that stuff afterwards. So
true.
I think I got my first record player when I was 6 or 7. So yeah, probably after the movie. Yeah, it's probably all afterwards.
Hmm.
Ah,
Yeah, epic.
singing on my desk. Singing on my desk.
Yeah, I never did anything like that. I tried to be the quiet one personally, though I don't want to talk about myself because nobody wants to hear that.
Unless it's about Transformers.
Transformers more than meets the eye.
I'm sad. I never had a blanket set of the Transformers. I never had pajamas.
I had we had the sheets when I was growing up.
I had Ghostbuster sheets and Alf sheets. That's it. I never had the Transformers stuff. Did I ever have a Halloween costume of them? No, I did not. Those were the fancy kids. The the only the best costume I ever had in my entire childhood was not a Transformer, but it was close. But nobody knew who I was, and my heart was broken. My mom took. I have no idea how she even got this because I was the only kid in the entire neighborhood to even wear this costume, and it was Voltron. And no one knew who I was. The kids didn't know who I was. I had like the huge head mask, and I had the chest plate. I had the key that came out. I I had the lions. No one. Yet everybody had Voltron toys. I don't.
Yeah.
They didn't even ask if I was a Transformer. Not even.
Oh my god, that's just so sad. That makes me sad. You have made me sad, sir. You have.
But
ah,
it's a good sad because I remember being the coolest kid in my mind. I was only sad that no one knew who I was. So at the same time, I was like, "Yeah, it must be special. People can't afford this. People don't know who this is." Of course, not with an Italian accent in my head. I couldn't do accents back then, but yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right. So where were we? We're back to the finger holes, right? That's
Yes,
what we
the
were
finger
talking about.
holes. The big thing about it is that so much is happening, and they think it's such an epic thing, and all it is that everyone's just too dumb to realize that they should just follow the fucking rules.
That every time we go off track, that's gonna be my go-to. All right, the finger holes again, right?
Yeah, well, no, it just kind of comes back to the whole thing. Like these are things I know. Like these are the things that I noticed as a kid. These are the things that just kind of stuck with me as a kid. Also, that like whenever Megatron and then Galvatron wanted someone to die, he would tell them to. He did it to Optimus. He did it to Ultra Magnus. He did it to fucking Starscream. He just basically says die, and then they explode. Like I thought he had a power.
Well, he didn't tell Starscream to
Oh
die.
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He just shot
He was just
him.
like, Megatron, is that you? Here's a clue.
No, here's a hint. And then he shoots him.
Oh yeah,
and then,
sorry, yeah, that's
and
it.
then here's the like, and the only way he'll never come back.
Yeah.
It turns to dust, and then he comes back.
He came back in like almost every other series too.
Yeah, I know. He's the longest running character.
He's like that joke character or whatever.
Yeah, like freaking Beast Wars. Like,
oh man,
yes, we all knew it was connected. Amazing.
He took over Waspinator.
Yeah,
Waspinator he was like the coolest. Whatchamacallit? What are the bad guys called?
Predacons. They were the Predacons.
Predacons. There you go. He was the coolest one. Waspinator. Terrorize.
He was loyal and stupid, and
he got blown up every episode, and no consequence. He's back the next episode.
Yep.
Anyone blow up, they're gone for the rest of the damn season, or the rest of the series.
Yes, unless there's some kind of weird zombie thing, which happened a couple times. Actually, it was even a joke in the last season. Where Rat Trap actually says, "Do you know how many pieces of Waspinator I have?" And there was also a scene like he was playing some kind of Doom clone game. He was just killing different Waspinators.
I think I vaguely remember that. Man, Rat Trap was my favorite one on their side too, because he had that like New York Brooklyn accent.
Because he was a rat.
Yeah, I know. That's what just made it so funny. It's just, is that how you really chose the yeah. Rat Trap? Hey, what's the matter? Chop a face? Like, God. Oh,
and then when he had
Dinobot.
And then my favorite thing was that they had that whole dynamic with each other, and there was even a thing where like he would ride, like where Dinobot would ride Rat Trap when he had wheels for a while. Like he was that transmetal.
We'll never tell anyone. It's just, oh man,
like he just kind of rides those like little mini bike things.
They should have had a movie appearance somewhere. They should have had one.
What?
Brought back Dinobot, but Dinobot was created in homage to the Dinobots. Ironically,
yes, I know. But then again, they also had in that one, Megatron was a T-Rex.
Yeah, well, they were on Earth in the past, so
prehistoric Earth, blah blah blah, fun stuff. Even though for some reason, and then they had that whole thing like, wait, there's one moon now, Waspinator knows, and it's all like, yes, it turns out, yes, this is Earth, and then they had the aliens, and it turns out this whole planet was an experiment made by aliens, and then
that's right. At the end of the Earth part series, he's the last one left on Earth with just his head being worshipped by the caveman.
No, it wasn't just his head. No, his whole he was fully intact. He was left behind. Yes, he was fully intact, and he was just sucking down Mai Tais while being fanned. That was the ending. That was the last 10 seconds of Transformers Beast Wars, where he's just kind of sitting there like, this is life, Waspinator, happy, and then like, it's just
Waspinator finally got a break. Up until his system gives out because he can't get Energon no more, but it'll be a good life.
It'll be fine. I mean, that planet's essentially rich in it, so he should be fine. And then, of course, somehow they explain in that other series how they managed just to throw him off the planet somehow. And then he ends up in that other show as the guy who flies or something. And no, he was the bike.
Was he the bike?
Yeah, he was the bike. And Silverwolf was the jet guy.
Was he?
Yes, and then they managed to turn him back into like a proper transformer, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And, and actually, that I can freaking talk about. Yeah, we can do an entire thing on that entire episode because that. Okay, you know what? We're skipping over to this. We're talking about Beast Machines now. Beast Machines was garbage. It was the hottest garbage in the world. I hated that show. Yes, fight me.
But yes. I am British Megatron. Yes.
Yes,
Optimus
I know.
Prime.
It's like, perfection for some reason.
That brought the show over. If I recall, although I might be completely mistaken on this, but if I recall, the guy who did Megatron is the same guy who did Megabyte in Reboot, no?
Yes.
Because it was a lot of the Reboot cast there, too.
This is true, but I digress. I don't know why I digress. But yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It just says he's still just like, like they got really one-dimensional with everything. Like Megatron, he's like, like to me, the whole show, okay, I'm just going to say it like this. The whole show to me looked like a 15-year-old D&D campaign. A 15-year-old with hippie parents. It was a D&D campaign. Now,
I mean, I watched it on YTV, and that's a kids' network. So
yes, but here's how it goes. They're in a place like they're doing the whole underground. It's a campaign where they're in a city where there's an evil tyrant who has a very singular thing. He wants to turn everyone into robots, into a single-minded robot collective that he controls. He's controlling everyone's mind. You are a band of rebels who are going to save him. And then you had to say, here's your party list. Optimus Prime is a paladin. He has the ability to convert undead, and the ability to convert undead, turn undead. He has a deity, which is whatever the hell the planet's core was, and he's it is a huge tank. Then you had the mage or witch, which was Black Arachnia, who casts magic, who casts tendril magic and other magics to take care of things. You had the thief or rogue, which was Rat Trap, no real attack abilities, but was amazing at actual with thievery. Tool. He had a tool lockpick kit. He got around things he was able to sneak and use charisma skills and stuff. You had
charisma skills.
He talked Megatron into giving him stuff. He actually managed to there was an episode where he got Megatron to give him a mech.
Well, I mean, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and he's true neutral because he worked with Megatron for an episode because he wanted something that Optimus couldn't give him. Then you had the Bardic character, which was that Bat guy, because he screamed and then people exploded, and he was like the young kid who was like, I'm so goth, which the goth kid always plays a bard.
Wasn't it just Rat Bat?
I think was it Rat Bat? I don't know. Then I don't remember their name, his name. I remember it was the Bat guy. Then this tree decided to show up, and for some reason there was a tree that could transform into a tree.
Wait, who transformed into a tree?
There was a tree in there. It was just some woman who turned into a tree, who was obviously the druid.
Oh my god, I must have blanked this.
Yeah, and then Silverbolt turned into a ninja because he literally threw shuriken around. So like acrobatic rogue. Then of course Cheetor. I don't know why I left him for last. He is a he's a ranger.
The bumblebee. He's the bumblebee of the show.
He's a ranger.
Hey, big butt.
He's a ranger. He moves fast. He uses a lot of ranged attacks, and he uses his dex as his attack stat.
Yeah, apparently he's very attracted to spiders, which I hear is a ranger's weakness.
Apparently, he's going all Dritz on us. Beast Machines was a D&D campaign. They just took a D&D campaign and went with it.
Makes sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything I could fire against that, but the way you put that,
yeah. And again, everyone was it was done very not just a D&D campaign, a kid's D&D campaign, the homebrew campaign that a kid would make in his first D&D game. There's an evil Lich King who is just trying to take over who's taking over a city. Your job is to try to stop him using like your magic, and then the paladin is like, I'm going to use my god to stop him.
They they didn't make any good video games off of that either. So
yeah. Come if
all failed.
Next episode, come at me. Let's see if you can actually do some research and see if you can actually fight me on this one.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so rough to try and at least compare it to something completely opposite, polar opposite. I'll have to do some serious research on that.
Yes.
I might come back with like it plays it's more like Double Dragon or something.
I mean, like I'm not even thinking like video game. Like, can you say it's not like a D&D campaign that you wouldn't be able to look at these characters with very defined roles that you would see in a D&D game?
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, you can almost put that on almost anything.
Okay, put it on Transformers. Beast Wars. What's Optimus Prime in Beast Wars?
Is this the part when he becomes Optimus?
Just at any point throughout Beast Wars. What defined character from what defined class is any character like in Beast Wars? Like what D&D class are they?
Well, let's see. I guess if you had to go with Optimus, he would be a warrior. He'd be warrior class.
Okay.
Because obviously he didn't do anything else except fight. So
well, he was also the leader, and he was also like he did a lot. Like then again, then wouldn't technically everyone be a warrior? Then isn't Dinobot also a warrior? Like Rat Trap was a warrior. Yes, he was technically still a rogue, but
I mean, maybe like Rhinox would be more like barbarian. He'd be like barbarian class, I suppose.
But the thing is, like everyone was a fighter. People had archetypes as well. I mean, like you had the plucky kid.
Rat Trap would have been better as Ranger class since he had stealth capability. Oh, maybe like Thief. Sorry, Thief.
Yeah, well, that's rogue. That's technically rogue. That's what they call it.
Or rogue.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going into the subclasses.
Yeah. I'm talking like the basic 5 here. Like you have warrior, barbarian, ranger, bard, mage, a druid. Things like without having like anything from the player's handbook. Nothing that you have to get the specialty supplements. Yeah, Rat Trap definitely rogue scout. Yeah.
You might have me on them because I would put too many people in the same class.
Exactly, because they were all soldiers. They were all warriors. Certain ones had different skills, yes, because Rhinox was the guy who made things. Rat Trap was the guy who got like where he wanted to get, and he was a bit more like scoundrelish. But then it was, and then of course, but then Cheetor's thing was just that he was young and naive.
He was also, I guess, sort of like the hot rod character, essentially.
Also, if you ever noticed, and I just gotta point this out about Beast Wars. What?
Wait, what? I missed
Oh,
that part.
wait, what? About what? Cheetor?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, and a thing about Cheetor, another thing I noticed, like I think people miss, first type of Cheetor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna come back to you, Vex, in a second as I get through this thought. First version of Cheetor, where you had that gun that just was a yellow gun. I noticed this from the toy, but if you actually look at the top of it, those are technically his innards. Those look like his innards. Supposed to be guts, because that's where the gun sets.
His guns are actually from his thighs. Because when he's in his cat mode, it's the rocket launchers on his thighs, or I mean, sorry, it's the shooters on his thighs. So those are what
for Cheetor.
Yeah.
I always thought it came from his belly.
No.
I got double check this because I remember from the toy, it threw me off.
I might be wrong.
Okay, we gotta look at this. I know Rhinox, he had this freaking Gatling gun with the two things on them, like the
what?
Yeah,
Vex Hulk always thought Rhinox was engineer.
Yeah,
and enforcer. I guess that class worked.
I mean, yeah, if you want to turn him into one, you gotta. Yeah, but again, you gotta go to the subclasses to do it.
Can you have those two subclasses together, engineer and enforcer?
Smart guy with big guns. And but yeah, no, you can't so easily mix them in any of the other shows. I mean, if you try hard enough, you can create classes that would work around them. But in Beast Machines, they were that class. It was
they did all share a similar class, at least. I mean, well, you have to when you come from a planet of fighting robots. There's at least one subclass you have to share. It's just you have everything else.
Yeah,
it would be like if somebody took a mage, never actually used the magic part, and just like, sometimes I throw a fireball, but I'm a hand-to-hand mage, and you're like, why?
I'm just saying that, like, Beast Machines, they were that specific thing. They were very cookie cutter characters.
They were definitely
super cookie cutter, and it was something that, like, I always noticed, and it's something that I always
I had never considered trying to associate them with other than what they actually were.
Well, I mean, to me, I played a lot of D&D. D&D is kind of like one of my things, even though I don't talk about it as much here. But like, so it was very easy for me to make the connection, and once I saw it, I could not unsee it. And so, like, yeah, and of course, Megatron, he's a Lich King and a dragon. He's literally a dragon. It's Dungeons and Dragons. He's literally a dragon. They fight a dragon.
That was not his fault. It's when he became a transmutate. Not his fault.
Yes, I'm aware of the whole thing behind it, but it's a little on the nose when it's like he's both a Lich King, which is the most classic thing that first timers do when they make a D&D boss. Because I have fought so many Lich Kings in the past, it has become a joke. I have literally learned how to make a first level character that can kill a Lich King. Because that's what everyone does. They make Lich Kings, and I've learned how to kill them. What?
From the start.
Sorry?
How do you do that from the start?
You get a character and you work it around so that they become immune to magic. And the second you can do that, you could just walk up to a Lich King and just crush him. I make a barbarian, and I once made a barbarian, and then because the guy wanted to be really, really fancy, and like he had it like, oh, there's a deity who's gonna give everyone one wish. And then everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna get a special pony that shoots rainbow farts. I'm gonna get this special epic sword. It's like, I want to be part Iron Golem. And it's like, what? Give me an Iron Golem arm. And like, okay, there. Now I have Iron Golem traits. I am now immune to magic. I walk over to the Lich King and I crush him.
What? Oh.
Yes.
So the only way to outdo you is to remove the golems from the game. There was none left except their bowels as they were disemboweled by the Lich King.
Yeah,
You're
no,
just like,
no, because like it was just like it was. He wanted to be fancy. So he wanted to give everyone like one kind of game breaking, like something that that would be not in like game rules, but still work. And he would make it work. And I just said, I want to be part Iron Golem. Like he thought, oh, he's gonna be like Full Metal Alchemist. Nope, I'm into magic. You will laugh.
I'll have to remember that if I ever play D&D with you. Definitely have to remember that.
Yes,
Like
yes.
a golem Lich King. Yeah, there we go. There we go. They're like, what? How is that? Well, he's immune to your immuneness, so he can hurt you. How?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but also this was in third edition, and I was an asshole as a child, so like I didn't play.
Right.
I played like to ruin the thing, not to ruin it. But I played to win. Didn't play for like the epic thing. I was like one of those. I was a bad D&D player as a kid. But
all right.
yeah.
So to circle back around, we were talking about Rhinox putting his fingers inside the Matrix, right?
Yes.
And then
like he managed to get those giant mitts in there, and yet Ultra Magnus was like, no.
I think that would be the first time where the Matrix is just probably thinking this might stretch me out for a while.
Might need to take a day off after this one.
Why is the Matrix squirming? Because you're not pulling hard enough. This is like, poor thing. It's my first time being gentle.
Like,
oh man!
Play the touch first. It gets it in the mood.
yeah. Well, first, you figure it would be in the mood after you pop it out someone's chest. Jesus.
Yeah, seriously, it's like, oh yes, take me out.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing we were talking about too. The Matrix in the chest.
Yep.
Now, inherently original robots, the original robots that were actually created by the Quintessons were just robots. None of them could transform. They had a matrix of leadership, but they never successfully implanted it inside their chest. That didn't start happening until we had transforming transformers. But we still don't know if every transformer can actually do it. Because, for example, your favorite, the Junkions, they're not made or part of Cybertron. So they obviously just made from parts lying around. So I'm pretty sure Redcar couldn't put a matrix in there.
Yeah.
But the other ones, though,
like could Bumblebee technically be able to carry around the matrix in his chest?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
What would you call him? I mean, because Hot Rod turned to Rodimus and still ended with Prime. But what would you call Bumblebee as a Prime?
Bumblebus Prime.
Or just bum. No, I stuttered there. I didn't say bum.
Bum Prime.
He
turned to a giant ass.
Bummus. There you go. Bummus Prime. Huh?
Bummus Prime?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the censors were not going to accept that. Big Bum Prime. Big Bum Prime.
Oh,
he's a giant asshole.
Just call me BP for short. What's that for? Instead of Bumblebee, I'm B. B Prime. Oh, because I can only be Prime. He would have all those catchphrases like Optimus did in Beast Wars all the time.
Oh yeah.
Well, isn't that just Prime? Like, oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love how they like for a while inventing swear words was always a thing. Slag.
Yeah, slag and scrap. Oh, yeah. Scrap. Oh no, was it scrap or frack? No, scrap.
Frack was from Battlestar Galactica, the new one. The later one, the one that came out like in 2010.
Was that was shortly around? I think it was around the same time where they rebooted V, I believe.
I think it was around the same time too. Yeah.
Because Smallville ended, and then the girl who played Supergirl there, she went over to that other TV show and she killed the franchise.
Yeah,
I don't know if she actually killed it, but it didn't work
it
out.
sometimes that just happens. Like you put something in there and then just like ruin it for everyone. But yes. So yeah, back to the finger holes.
I'll tell you, man, it's our like safety spot right
Yeah.
there.
Because seriously, that is just that's just a hot
It's
button
so
issue for me.
bothersome. It's so see the not putting into the finger holes bothers you. What's always bothered me is that in every scene it has a different amount of finger holes. That's what bothered me.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 4,
like,
sometimes none.
well, sometimes you just have a little bit of an indent there.
Either the Matrix was just messing around with every transformer. They'll never know what to do, so I'll put my holes away. Or just, bad animators.
It's more likely the latter than the former. But then again, that's usually where epic lore comes from. We see something so stupid happen, and we have to explain it, and so we come up with stuff, and sometimes it actually turns into real lore.
It does. It does. I guess in terms Matrix wise, not falling into the whole lore thing, just a little bit of a pet peeve is when the Matrix in the Michael Bay movies just ended up being some weird boomerang thingy that you
Oh
just
yeah.
stabby
Oh
stabby.
yeah. Seriously, I can't stand those movies. Mostly for that stuff, where he's like, "Oh, we're gonna take something you love from your childhood. We're gonna take the name of it and the basic idea behind it, and then we're gonna fuck with it because ew."
What was it? Shockwave was a helicopter with a holographic pilot. Just
Like
so bad.
Soundwave was a satellite dish that just kind of like had tendrils.
Yeah, that was a little yeah.
They couldn't keep characters like for more than like Shia LaBeouf was just like there, and they had to show him more often. Oh god, they're trying to show an epic fight scene between Megatron and Optimus, and we saw shadows while we watched Shia LaBeouf cowering under them.
Yo, it was originally not supposed to be about the family, but they realized to make it more relatable. Put the
No,
whole thing there.
no, I don't care about the family. I don't want it to be relatable to like humans. I want it to be relatable to my childhood, where giant robots killed each other with giant guns, and the people just got in the way.
Oh, sometimes people get in the way, and they really. I mean, I don't think it got bad until like real bad. Like it didn't get real bad till about the third movie, and then after that, every other movie is just cashing.
Oh no. Second movie was garbage. The first movie had promise. The first movie was that bad movie that set up for a good movie. Then the second movie came, and then it turned the first movie into a very bad movie. That's how bad the second movie was. I fell asleep in the first viewing.
Asleep?
I fell asleep at the action scenes. Optimus! Yeah. That was Yeah, that was literally what it was for me. That's what happened to me. I was just like I was just so bored by the action because it was pointless. Like, okay, he's dead. Oh, there's the racist guys there. And of course, Bumblebee wants nothing to do with them being racist because then that makes them bad. But then they're funny racist, so it's funny. Oh, wait, they're useful now? What the? Oh, yeah, and for some reason, Devastator has balls? Wait, when did that happen?
Yo, I don't care what anyone says. I chuckled and I enjoyed that scene. I was horrified what they did to Devastator because it's not at all what I wanted.
Yeah.
But that little juvenile joke in there.
He was under the testicular zone.
It just made it better for me. I am underneath the enemy's scrotum. Like I was like, yes, you saved that scene. Ruined my childhood, but saved that scene. Oh, that was so good. But yeah, again, it's there's no other incarnation of the Constructicons making anything even remotely similar to that ever.
Because the
But
Constructicons are supposed to be a bunch of small humanoid robots that turn into one giant humanoid robot, not a bunch of fucking like construction vehicles that turn into a giant cat monster with balls. Why do they have balls?
well, you wouldn't have been able to identify if it was,
like, did they have to make sure you knew it was a dude? Is that it? Michael Bay had to make sure you knew it was a dude?
Yeah, otherwise you might have thought it was a giant. I don't know what they call female Decepticon bots.
A Decepticon, like that? Yeah, no, like it was.
I mean, well, even then, even on the Autobot side, they were just literally called female Autobots. It's not like they were called fembots or anything. It's just
Also, they were called like expendable. RC had one line. She was a bunch of like weirdly shaped motorcycles, and then they all got blown up like like bitches, like just in such a bad way. It my god, it was like that was just a true.
Yeah, I know, and they're like in there for like I don't know 3 seconds. It's just
oh my god, yeah, like they were advertising it too. Like see, okay, right there, that's RC. That is a female Autobot. She is super badass and awesome. She is actually a character I respect. Like, and she does really well. And yes, she's got the curves.
Well,
she's got that little chest thing. But then again, so does Springer. But yeah,
she at least got her time to shine in all the animated series afterwards.
Yeah.
Because they like she was out there in the original G1. She was sure she could fire a gun, but she still ended up being that female in distress, though.
Oh yeah, like then again, it's 80s bullshit, man. 80s bullshit. But even then, she was still a more like positive feminine role than anything Michael Bay came out with.
True.
Like, and like I mean, which I mean, yay. Also, nice legs.
Okay, Q Beast Boy. There we go.
Don't get me started on that shit. We're not talking about Teen Titans today. No. No.
Oh man.
Next month we'll do Justice League. We'll do Super Friends, and then we'll get to that.
Oh, you're gonna make us start from the beginning? Oh
yeah, man. Yes, I watched Super Friends, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, so did I. Played at the same time as Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Oh yeah, with what was it?
Iceman and Firestar.
Yeah, Iceman and Firestar. Yeah. Childhood.
See, all that stuff is a lot of sighs of joy, but also it was good for the time, but it's not good today. Some things did not age well.
They did not. Like Jesus.
Oh, I missed this. When Vexhog said some Decepticons are good.
Now, do we mean good as in good guys, or good as in like not terribly made?
There was this one Transformer who had no allegiance, and his only transforming ability was to either transform into an Autobot or a Decepticon. That's all he did. And his sign would change. And I seen him in one episode, and he got shot. Oh, wait, no, that was in one of the comics, I think.
Oh, yeah,
that was in one of the...
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that was in the comics, definitely, because I don't remember that from the show. What Vex is talking about is Skyfire, who was a Blackbird jet, who ended up being that grumpy old Scottish man who I think had a kilt, and he ripped out his own guts so that Optimus can turn into some kind of special flight mode Optimus or some shit.
That was just,
But
I never
actually,
thought I'd live to see a prime. Yeah, and then you let yourself die. Come on,
yeah, it's
man.
such a stupid. But actually, he was actually based off of a character from the show, also named Skyfire, who was this epically just giant jet that
Yeah, he wasn't. He's actually from something more closer to like the Gundam series. He was never supposed to be in there.
yeah, he was
They're
this.
just like,
Yeah,
how
but
can we sell
he
this?
was a friend of Starscream, and they met and they actually went to Earth looking for Energon, but then he ended
Yeah, he
up
got
falling.
frozen in the
Yeah, he
ice.
ended up falling in for some reason. I don't know how that works, and he got frozen in the ice until they found him. And then he realized that Megatron's a douche and decided that he was going to become an Autobot, and then he blew up.
Sacrificed himself and froze, or his energon froze in the ice. I don't
I
know. It
don't
was
know.
that weird.
Something happened to him. I think he's not dead, but he is. I don't know. They never came back to him. But that's basically what the character wasn't there. He wasn't some angry Scottish guy who would rip out his guts at a moment's notice.
That is true. And also, oddly enough, I believe Starscream. I mean, him and Starscream had a genuine friendship because when they
Yeah.
show the flashback, Starscream looked kind of good. Like he genuinely cared for his friend. So I guess they must have been like BFFs
Oh
because,
yeah, no,
or
they
maybe
were
that's
supposed to
what
be.
made him really go to the dark side and decide to, you know what? I'm going to backstab people from now on. Yes,
Well,
just
I remember
like
from this comic series that was supposed to talk that was doing the war, or even that games. I gotta play that game series, like War for Cybertron, and then the Fall of Cybertron, which they was played like Gears, but it was Transformers. It was really good. I don't think it's available anymore. I hope it is. I can check for it.
pretty sure it is the war for Cybertron and the fall of Cybertron, which
I'm
is
gonna
like part
see. I'm
one
gonna see if
and
it's
two.
playable.
Oh yeah,
If
there's
it's
there's they're still playable. Plus, I own them on my 360.
not available on Steam. Oh wait. Oh, it says Transformers Battlegrounds. The fuck is Battlegrounds?
No.
The hell is this? Is this some kind of shitty? Is this some what is this? Some kind of what? No. Yep, it is a team tactic. It's a tactics game. No,
Are you
bad.
talking about the battleship where they included Transformers battleships?
No. Yeah, I'm trying to look up Transformers and that's the only game that comes up. Transformers Battleground, and it's got a positive rating, I guess, but it's also insanely expensive.
But oh boy, there's
No.
there's a lot more than that. There's uh they had, actually it's not like I know all of them, but there's a lot. There was Transformers Devastation, which was which recasted the entire G1 cast.
Yeah,
That
it's
thing.
also not available anymore for some reason.
What? Transformers Devastation is still available, but I don't think it's on Steam though. I think you can.
You cannot buy it anymore, not legitimately.
What? Is that for real? I could have
Yes.
sworn I seen it, but still, it like I think you can only buy the physical copies. Maybe
What the hell is this? You can buy it on Amazon as a Steam download for $50.
that game is gold. It's
No, no,
priceless.
that's for the Fall of Cybertron.
Yeah, that
That
game is priceless, man.
I mean, it's an amazing game, and I want to play it. But do I want to pay $50 to play it?
Probably not. No.
Why is it? No. No. Wait, Microsoft Store? Do they have it on the mic? Oh,
I
off. Available on
oh
Xbox One and Xbox Series X. No, you bad
wait,
people.
what's wrong with Xbox? You don't
I
have
don't
an Xbox?
have one.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wait.
You judging me? You judge me?
It should be available on. I mean, like
It's currently not available for purchase, anyways. So, redeem a code. Redeem the code.
I will gift you a copy next week.
What?
Yeah, why not?
You actually have a
If
copy that you can gift me?
well, I will have a copy that I can gift you.
If you can do that, I will do things for you, man.
It is
I will do big things.
on price drops on some of my game purchasing sites where I purchase games.
The things I'd never
And,
use because I do not trust them.
Well, again, it's the ones that I've used for quite a long time. And I purchase games there, so they're just slightly discounted.
Of course they are.
Only 2 that I've used, and I've never gone any further, and I've been safe ever since.
Yeah, so Hasbro Activision, they no longer have a deal with Steam. That's why it's not there anymore. Well, I'm sad now, but that's fine.
Well, it's time to get Microsoft Game Pass. This is no promo, but if we get commission off this, then it is promo. No, I'm joking.
No promo until it is.
Not until we get, what is it, something like, what do we need to qualify for promos? Like 1 million likes or views? Probably both.
I think
1 million likes and views.
I think we need like 750 followers or something like that.
We could start doing it at like Davey, like
or no, we need
facial chin reveal at 1 million views.
It would need to be we need 75 consistent viewers to get partner status.
75 consistent viewers?
Yes, we maxed out at 15. We should be averaging about 10 on this one. This has actually been a good day.
we have got to bring our A game.
Yes.
Right now, I
think we're at our C game.
Well, you start with C and you work your way to the A.
I was D last month. It should be. I was kind of at a B in March, but then like dropped down to D's in like April.
Well, I'll get some stronger lights. I did actually purchase just a few days ago a better lighting system that would go to my wall, which would complement this light, which is just obviously not in the right spot. But that's a start. Plus, maybe, just maybe, I'll learn that that 2D avatar thing where you can actually create your own by importing your own images, and I'll get a legit Optimus going here. Just a Optimus, which will be mapped to my face. Hopefully, it doesn't look crazy, and we'll have a date with Optimus. Not next episode, but we'll get that. We'll get that up there.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of next episode, I think we're at a good time to actually wrap up. I think we're in wrap up times now. No more handholds.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say. I guess we're done with the finger holes. Huh?
Yeah, no more finger holding, dude. Oh God. But yes, no, seriously though. Yeah, good time to wrap up. So, all right, a couple things I'm going to ask you guys. Everyone who's left, who's still sticking around for us, I do thank you very much for watching. A couple things I'm going to ask of you, and this is very important. As you can tell, we do not have a name for our podcast. Again, the major goal of this podcast is that we're going to sit down, find a major topic, usually a specific genre or TV show or movie or thing of our childhood that we're going to talk about in great detail. Maybe come back to it. We are older people. We are both nerds. I'm no idea who's going to... I don't have no idea what to call ourselves, but I do need a name for our podcast. If you guys have any ideas for names, let us know. I'm going to put up a thing on Twitter about it. Or you can just find me on Discord, Tech Support Ninja, link down below.
You can stick with his link for now.
Retro Talk. Actually, I like that. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put that in the listing. I'm gonna make that thing.
That is not
Yeah.
bad. We'll try not to go too far into the retro past and like end up at year 1 or something.
Well, you know, we're talking about year 1 Voltron shit.
It's like, I remember year 1. I watched that cartoon in the 70s.
Hey,
when I wasn't alive.
remember Rocket Robin Hood? Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Oh my God. Can't go that far back. Oh God.
Oh God. My brain hurts. But yeah, no.
We're gonna end up doing another part of the podcast now, so y'all be careful what you suggest.
Yeah, so Retro Talk sounds good. That's kind of like that's gonna be in the like
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, unless we hear something better. We're gonna give you an EP on this next.
We will.
Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna and of course we're gonna get better at this, but yeah, that's
We'll also figure out a catchphrase for ending the show. Like
Yes.
we'll retro talk to you next time or something like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be we'll figure it out. Like we're still working on this. But yes, and we're still working on things. I'm going to this will be saved on to Twitch unless I get hit with copyright strikes for all the Transformer stuff I put in there. Also going to be posting this onto YouTube this time next week. And we're also just to see how this goes, I will have links for that available on my Discord, Twitch, and Twitter, and all those places. So go there for that. And I think that's it for me.
So once we get it out, make sure you pass it around and pass it around again.
Yeah, let your friends know. And also if you want to give us money, feel free. I like money. Donations down below, like the tip link is down below. And yeah, we will see. I guess we'll same time next week. I will make better announcements on Monday what we'll be doing, and yeah, that should be it. So,
alrighty.
And
I did a long stare shot at the camera. I was
I saw that. It's like,
yeah.
Say something, dude. All right. So yes, I have been the Tech Support Ninja,
and I have been Belize Boy,
and we will retro talk to you next time.
Next time.